most famous churches in Iran. The history of Christianity in this country dates back to the early years of faith, and more than 600 churches exist in Iran. The majority of the Iranian population practices Shiism, which is one of the largest branches of Islam and the official religion of Iran. However, other religions such as Zoroastrianism, Judaism, and Christianity are also practiced in this country. Most of the people who associate themselves with non-Islamic religious minorities are Christians, and the history of Christianity in Iran dates back to the early years of faith, predating Islam. Therefore, the presence of Christians has always been continuous in Iran, and at least 600 churches and more than 300,000 Christians exist in this country. We're going to introduce you to some of the most famous churches in Iran. St. Thaddeus Cathedral, Karakalisa. St. Thaddeus Cathedral, Karakalisa is an Armenian religious building located in the south of Mako and 20 kilometers northeast of Calderan, next to a village of the same name. The church has been destroyed and rebuilt in different periods for various reasons. In 1230 AD, 616 AH, during the invasion of Genghis Khan, a large part of the church was destroyed, but during the stay of the Mongol Holako Khan in Azerbaijan, Qajir Nazir al-Din Tusi tried to restore it. This church was destroyed once in an earthquake that occurred in 1319 AD, and according to the narration of Andronik Hoyan, there's a document about its repair by Saint Zachariah in 1329. The church was built with black stones in 1691 AD. In 1810, by the Bishop of Mako named Simon Baznoni, with the installation of white stones, and during the Qajar period by Abbas Mirza. Karakalisa has a special feature of Armenian architecture and is one of the most famous historical monuments in the country in terms of volume and technique. This building is world famous, and many Armenians inside and outside the country come to this church for religious ceremonies. St. Stephanos Monastery. St. Stephanos Monastery is one of the Armenian monasteries of Iran. It's located in a canyon facing the Aras River, close to the northwest borders of Iran, about 15 kilometers northwest of the city of Julfa in the province of East Azerbaijan. The exact date of construction of St. Stephanos Monastery is not known to us, but based on the special ornate and architectural style, the experts attribute it to the 10th to the 12th century. The historical and artistic importance of the building has led to the registration of St. Stephanos Monastery as one of the 3 major churches of Iran in the World Heritage List of UNESCO. The facade and walls of the monastery have been decorated with reliefs of portraits of the Virgin Mary, the birth of Jesus, the stoning of St. Stephanos, and the crucifixion of Jesus. The tombstones and the entrance gateway of the monastery have valuable tablets with inscriptions in the Armenian alphabet. The Chapel of Zorzor. The church is one of the historical monuments of Iran, which is also registered in the list of National Monuments of Iran and the UNESCO World Heritage List. In 1988, due to the flooding of the Baran Dam, the church was moved to a higher point, 600 meters from the main site. The date of construction of Zorzor is estimated between 1315 and 1342 AD, and was built by the Archbishop of the Church of St. Thaddeus, named Zachariah, of the great family and owners of the area, and as a school of religious, cultural and literary education. The supervision of it was ruled by Bishop Hovhannes Yetsnagatsi, one of the most famous Armenians in literature and education. The church is cruciform, like other Armenian churches built in those days. It's made of carved stones in different volumes. The facade of the church is very simple, and only around the windows and skylights are decorated with false columns that end in a chin arch. Vank Cathedral. Vank Cathedral, or Armen Pergik, the largest and most beautiful cathedral in Isfahan's Julfa, one of the historic Armenian cathedrals, was established in the Shah Abbas II era in the lands of Zeresk Gardens in 1605. It was extended continuously during 50 years and finally reached to its current form. The Holy Saviour Cathedral is also known as the Church of the Saintly Sisters. The plan of the cathedral is rectangular and its direction is eastern-western. The interior of the cathedral presents a sample of Armenian architecture, and its exterior facade has been designed by use of Iranian architecture, and it is in the professional combination of these two architectural styles. The material used in the building of Vank Cathedral were brick and adobe, and all the interior angles of the cathedral were covered by plaster and decorated with oil paint and gold in Iranian style, and some images from Jesus' life were affected by Italian painting. Belfry. In front of the main entrance of the cathedral has been constructed in Iranian style in the Shah Sultan Hussein era. This cathedral includes a dome, tall walls, and high and beautiful roofs that are the Armenian vicarage of Iran and India. Chapel of Chupan. The Chapel of Chupan is a small, historic Armenian church building in a mountain valley west of Jolfa near the Aras River in the East Azerbaijan province of Iran. It was built in the 16th century and rebuilt in 1836. It's part of Iran's Armenian monastic ensemble with the UNESCO World Heritage Site listing. Russian Church, Kazvin. The church was built in 1905 for the Russian engineers hired for road construction in Kazvin. The chapel, like other churches, has a cruciform plan with the altar facing east. The entrance is surrounded by two walls adorned with crosses. There's a 3-story bell house at the entrance that's bounded by a small dome. The hall includes a chapel and altar, and on both sides are 2 rectangular areas. The altar is in the shape of a half circle covering over the dome. Regarding the exterior of the church, decorative columns can be seen. Its architectural planning is based upon an irregular polygon made out of red bricks. The first floor of the bell tower of the chapel gives great views of the surrounding field. The paved churchyard leads to many tombs, one of which belongs to a Russian pilot who was killed when his plane went down during the war. In front of the church is a memorial to a Russian road engineer. The church is sometimes referred to as the Kantor or Kantor Church, from the name of the area where it stands. St. Sarkis Cathedral, Tehran. St. Sarkis Cathedral is an Armenian apostolic church in Tehran, Iran, completed in 1970 and named after St. Sarkis the warrior. It's the cathedral of the Armenian Diocese of Tehran, one of 3 Armenian dioceses in Iran, whose prelate is the Archbishop Sepu Sargsyan. Since the completion of the Holy Mother of God Church in central Tehran in 1945, the Tehran prelacy has located in the premises of that church. In the early 1960s, it was decided to change the site of the prelacy offices into a new location. So therefore, the bishop and committee members of the time asked Marka Sargsyan, an Armenian benefactor, to help them in this cause. Since Marka died soon after, his sons financed the church project in memory of their parents. The construction of St. Sarkis Church in Tehran began in 1964 and was completed in 1970. The church was renovated in 2000. St. Mary Church. The largest church of Tabriz, also known as Holy Mother of God Church or SERP, Azvadzadzin Church, has been built for more than 500 years and is considered to be the main center of religious practice among Armenians of this city. The Italian explorer Marco Polo has mentioned this church in his travel chronicles around 1275 AD, as he was passing through Tabriz on his way to China.